Dear partners, dear colleagues, dear friends, we are back again. After our so inspiring sessions in spring, for which we received so much positive feedback from you, I am particularly excited to welcome you today to our 5th edition of the virtual meeting series. So what a pleasure and honor indeed to have you back with us today. Proudly, we are partnering with Sanat Technical Assistance Facilities in this important virtual event. So a massive thank you to our long-standing sponsors, partners, and friends at Sanataf and Finance in Motion. And here in particular to Elvira Lefting, Almudena Marquez, and Ole Nestingen for, and I'm very happy to say, another excellent cooperation. A huge thank you also to the European Union and the German Emirati Joint Council for Industry and Commerce, and here in particular to Oliver Oehms for their kind support. And last but with no means least, a massive thank you to Rebecca Schmidt for having designed our website. As you can see, together as partners, we are so happy to see that our GAWBL platform, which we founded to connect, to empower, and to engage with women and men across Germany, the Arab region, and the international community, is constantly growing. Yes, we are becoming more and more, and that is even more important in times of crisis. Yes, COVID-19 still has us firmly in its grip, and resilience remains more important than ever. And that is why we need positive stories, stories that gives hope, inspiration, and courage, showing ways to grow from challenges. And this is why we've set up impact stories. With impact stories, we want to shed light on the great projects that can emerge from crisis. We want to share inspiring stories from inspiring women that prove, yes, we can create something new despite difficult conditions. Yes, we can create something new and tangible. And if I say tangible, here's the proof. I have 2 new apps now. And I will be having a new book very soon. And I guess you might be very curious to learn more about what I am talking about now, because we have the brilliant investors and inventors and the brilliant authors here with us today. So our commitment at GAWBL is to moving forward together, because only together can we address these challenges. It is together that we must turn them into opportunities for a fair, a safe, and sustainable future. And this is why I'm all the more excited to welcome now our wonderful moderator and speakers today, sharing their very personal impact stories with us. And maybe you can hear my verbal drum roll now. So in alphabetical order, Sana Afwais joining us from Brussels. And for those of you who have attended our first session, this name may sound familiar to you, right? So Sana, you were already one of our fantastic guests in previous sessions, and we were so excited about you and your fantastic Womenpreneur initiative that we thought we just need more of, Sana. So here we go. And we are so happy that you brought along 2 of your wonderful womenpreneurs with you today, Nisreen El Turki and Mina Shaheen, joining us from Cairo and Beirut. But Charlene, you are going to introduce these fantastic ladies later on more in detail. And now, so it is my pleasure to welcome you, dear Charlene, our wonderful moderator for today, Charlene Wurzberger. Now, Charlene, you are the digital strategy lead with investment management team at Finance in Motion. Leveraging more than 10 years of experience in impact investing, financial inclusion, and financial technology across, and now I have to mention the whole world, Latin America, Southeast Asia, the Pacific, and Africa. You see digital transformation as an opportunity to overcome bottlenecks, to drive efficiency, and to cultivate innovation within an organization to benefit all stakeholders. You co-authored the, and now I quote, Alternative Delivery Channels and Technology Handbook to support financial service providers in making informed decisions and following best practice in implementation. A native Floridian, you now reside in a village outside Frankfurt with your family that owns a small business and an apple orchard. And that is obviously something that you and Nisreen share, right?
Indeed, indeed.
And I'm sure your apple trees are by far the best. So a very warm welcome to you all. Wonderful to have you with us today and looking into this virtual round of concentrated women power, fresh ideas and expertise. I'm all the more looking forward to an insightful, inspiring, and engaging session. So Charlene, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Gabi, for the opening remarks and, of course, the introduction. And of course, without saying, hosting this virtual series to engage and inspire such a diverse audience that shares our commitment to empowering women, women-led enterprises, women business leaders across Germany, the Arab region, and beyond. I am very proud to present this very impressive panel, and of course to be representing Finance in Motion of the moderator of this session that is bringing together two of the initiatives that Sana Technical Assistance Facility collaborates with to empower women and to improve gender equality. The German Arab Women Business Leaders Forum, and of course, as you mentioned, the Womenpreneur-Initiative. I have the great honor of speaking with and introducing yet again Sana Afoiz, the founder and director of the Womenpreneur-Initiative, who has invited these two very inspiring womenpreneurs to share their stories with us today. Mina Shaheen, the founder of She Travels and the co-founder of Tekeya, and Nisreen El Turki, founder and CEO of the Internet of Trees, Iot Trees. It's an absolute pleasure to share this panel with these three women who have identified challenges, injustice, waste, and inefficiencies in their communities and society, and they really are taking action to create businesses that aim to solve these issues through innovation, ingenuity, and community engagement. We are so grateful that despite the challenges that these women are facing with the ongoing pandemic and in the markets where they're operating, in addition to the pressures of actually running their businesses, that they have reserved the time to share their stories with us today. We hope that by showcasing these stories, we are able to really raise awareness about the realities of building women-led businesses, inspire other women leaders to take action, and helping to break down the barriers of access to finance for women by celebrating the success that these women have created and the impact that they are demonstrating and creating within their societies. Before diving in, we would like to set the stage by sharing the short video to introduce Womenpreneur-Initiative, and then we're going to dive into each of the stories of the panelists so they can introduce themselves, their business, and to share their story. We are particularly excited for Sana to share an exciting announcement with us today at the end of the session. And so we are holding everyone in suspense for that announcement. And a little housekeeping, we will, after each story, we'll take a few questions from the audience. And then at the end, we'll reserve additional time for more questions at the end of the webinar. So please, as questions come up for each of the panelists, please add them to the chat. And we'll do our best to, within the time that allows, answer those questions throughout the session. So Gabi, maybe without further ado, if you would share the video.
Absolutely,
and then,
I did. And I also put the link in the post, in the chat,
perfect.
If perhaps transmission would not be as smooth as we hope for. So here we go.
Hello everyone, Aslama. Marhaba, my name is Sana and I am the director of Women-Preneur organization. Today, I'm taking you with me to a journey of Women-Preneur Tour. Women-Preneur Tour is a collaboration between Sanad Entrepreneurship Academy and Women-Preneur. We're going to travel to Morocco, Tunisia, and Jordan. We're going to meet with tech entrepreneurs, tech innovators, top leaders in the field of digital, blockchain, research, and science. The MENA region has the highest youth unemployment, and this rate is higher among women. In the MENA region, only 6% of women are in top management positions. Only 6% of women entrepreneurs in Jordan are generating revenues that exceed 100K. We have only 25% of women entrepreneurs in Tunisia, 14% of women entrepreneurs in Jordan, and only 10% of women entrepreneurs in Morocco. 25% of women entrepreneurs in Tunisia operate in social and cultural sector, and 71% of Tunisian women who started their enterprises started with zero resource and zero support. There is a serious issue when it comes to women's participation in economy in the region. At the same time, there is an interesting observation when it comes to women's participation in technology. You would be very surprised if I tell you, in every 3 tech startups created in the region, one of them is founded by a woman. This number, we don't even see it in Silicon Valley.
For these reasons, Women-Preneur and Sanad Entrepreneurship Academy joined forces to promote female tech entrepreneurship in the MENA region through the first-of-its-kind empowerment campaign, giving visibility to women in tech, innovation, and entrepreneurship, and provide platforms to assess the current state of the tech ecosystem in the region through Womenpreneur experience events.
This is Ala Arakars.
Khadija Jalouli.
Lamia Tazi.
My name is Ala Hamdan from Jordan.
I'm Wala Kasmi.
Je suis Zineb Brissi Kaitouli.
What are their biggest problems and challenges in the ecosystem in their countries?
So I think one of the main things that I found initially difficult was, one, when we tried to fundraise was a bit difficult in Morocco, but that was in 2016. The ecosystem is starting to slowly change, but I think it's going to take a bit of time because it's not only about money, but it's about mindset. And often when you talk to angel investors or others, often the right mindset isn't necessarily there because of the way they assess what a startup should be. So, you have investors who will be like, oh, what is my guarantee? And essentially as a startup, as an investor, there is no, it's not a real estate investment. There isn't a collateral or that kind of guarantee. But that's starting to change slowly, especially as there are more success stories internationally. But I think the main, the big game changer will eventually be a success story in Morocco. Once there's a success story in Morocco, which has actually resulted in higher returns on investment for different types of investors, then I think it'll be a lot more interactive in that sense.
And women still lack, access to investment that will allow them to turn their ideas into reality. What is the situation here in Tunisia?
En fait, quand on voit le nombre le pourcentage des femmes qui sont bancarisées, qui est maintenant qui constitue 28%, comparé aux hommes qui ont un compte bancaire, c'est à 45%. On voit qu'il y a vraiment pas mal de choses à faire pour financer les femmes. Parce que la femme, quand elle a son projet, elle peut accéder au financement, donc elle peut contribuer à l'amélioration du développement économique du pays.
As I said at the beginning, I think one of the big challenges is that the law itself is highly discriminatory, and all sorts of laws are highly discriminatory. So whilst having a law that guarantees some kind of equality in the labour market, but also in terms of your rights vis-a-vis other people.
I think that in Tunisia, like anywhere in the world, in the Arab world, let's say, the most challenging part is the lack of business opportunities for women. It's also the mindset of women entrepreneurs and this kind of self-confidence to be able to create a startup or a project that can grow and can be scaled on an international level.
However, women are still suffering from lack of opportunities, limited access to fair and equal education, inadequate access to funding and investments, lack of access to network support, and unfair family and tax policies block women. But one of the most important issues in the region is mindset. It's the culture that still views women and sees women in a very traditional way. So what are the recommendations to make the tech ecosystem and the ecosystem in general accessible and fair to women?
la prise de décision au niveau macro, au niveau stratégique. Parce que c'est très très important. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, certes, la femme entrepreneur, mais la femme entrepreneur, si elle n'est pas au niveau de la prise de décision, elle va subir aussi. Elle devrait être impliquée dans la prise de décision stratégique au niveau politique.
Donc, et aussi, il faut vraiment promouvoir l'éducation financière au profil des femmes pour booster l'entrepreneuriat féminin.
More of loan guarantee programs. I think clarity on laws and regulations, tax exemptions, ease of doing business, easier procedures for registering companies, enacting the home-based business law. A law has been issued actually to support home-based business, but unfortunately it needs a bit of a push in practice and in making sure that women get the benefit out of it.
The main funding is Series A. It came mainly from Africa Invest, which is a Pan-African VC with a lot of ties.
Established here in Tunisia,
yes,
right?
Established
For
in
those who
Tunisia.
don't know.
Yeah. I can say that the entire Series A was $7 million.
7 million.
Battez-vous pour réaliser vos rêves. Vous avez la force et la volonté de contribuer énormément au développement économique de notre pays grâce à votre volonté et grâce à votre savoir. Courage.
Please stop being afraid and, comme on dit en français, lancez-vous.
Empowering women in economy in the MENA region is not only an economic right, it is a human right. The MENA region needs seriously to question and examine the way it perceives women. So what can you do to take part of the change and make the MENA region an equal and fair place?
Thank you so much, Sana, for sharing that video with us and also for allowing it to set the stage for this session. I think that the recommendations that are coming out of that, I'm sure that those resonate very well with the entrepreneurs that we have on the panel. Also, particularly the fact that they're not just entrepreneurs for a single business, but they, in many cases, I think we can consider them to be serial entrepreneurs with their multiple businesses and multiple initiatives and the other roles that they have as professors. So maybe first we can actually introduce Mina and allow actually Mina for you to introduce yourself and your business and get to know you a little bit more.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Charlie. Hi everyone. It's an honor to be with you. And I'm Mina Shaheen. I'm founder of She Travels, which is initiative in Egypt to empower women through traveling by themselves with life coaching and having a program to try new things. And I'm a co-founder of a food application to fight food waste, which is called Tekeya. I'm a pharmacist. My background is pharmaceutical. I have around 10 years experience in multinational companies in commercial operations and regulations. Let me introduce Tekeya. So Tekeya is my baby. It's we believe at Tekeya that no food should be wasted, and that's why we created an online application to battle this problem. Next slide, if we can have next slide. So this looks familiar for us, but next one, we don't think about it. We don't think about this is the end of most of the projects. Next one. And this looks so delicious, but we turn a blind eye that a huge amount of this delicious food goes to the waste. So what I'm showing here is food provider problem, throwing away perfectly edible, unsold food. And that's why we did our research. We found out that 1/3 of food produced goes to waste. And in MENA, it's 250 kilograms per person. And in Egypt, we have more than 30% below poverty line. It's 100 billion problem to the hospitality sector. That's why we created, our value proposition is simple. We bring purpose back to the unsold items by connecting consumer to charity organization and connecting provider to charity organization and consumer. So creating a triple win: provider have more profit, charity more care for them, and consumer can save more money. And they are all saving the environment at the same time. If we see how it works, so this Basant, one of our early adopter, she has a beautiful gluten-free bakery. Before Tekeya, she used to throw away any unsold food. After Tekeya, she's now happy because she's can upload her items, activate unsold items. The user receive a notification that his favorite restaurant have a new surplus today, and he can order it takeaway or delivery. So this is addressable, some numbers, and that addressable market now is Egypt, worth $9 billion USD. And by 2022, we're aiming to have 250 partners and save more than around 700,000 meals. So our business model. So to explain more, by the way, one of the learning that your initial business model might not work exactly as you wish, and you have to pivot all the time. And this is learning, like you feel like it's your baby and your idea and it's brilliant, but what we did pivoting all the time, like changing the model many times to have the what we call now perfect model. And we still in doing market research to see how we can make it more perfect. So our business model, so we have commission per transaction from the provider if they choose to sell to consumer directly, and they have to sell to consumer with 50% discount. If they choose to donate to charity organization, we have subscription model from the provider. Most of provider choose hybrid model. They sell during the day and donate at the end of the day. Next slide. And can we pass this slide? Not needed. So I'm so proud that our attraction today, that we have now the conversion rate is 700. We have enormous uptake, a strong uptake of the number of users and downloads, more than 40,000 downloads. We have more than 85 providers, and we saved around 25,000 meals. And this means going back and forth from Egypt to North Coast 2,000 times, saving carbon dioxide. And if we look at the competition, we are the first in Egypt, very early in Arab region, and there is no really similar application in Arab region before us. And if we look at the competition, when we benchmark ourselves against them, we know that it's highly scalable model, which gave us like a good hope, and we are ambitious about our idea. So the co-founders, so it's myself and my husband, which is interesting to be partner in life and partner in business. And we have more than 30 years experience in commercial operation. My husband speaks like 7 languages, I believe, because he worked around the world. We looking for investment now, and as we said, the investment, maybe I talk about this, the investment ticket in Egypt is not like the highest, because you always get a small ticket for high equity, and that's the thing is, that's why we still in negotiation phase now. We are bootstrapping, it's going very well, and we generating revenue now, so it's helping as well. So we hope to expand more in Egypt this year and next year, cover as much, have as much as provider we can have, because this also helping us to penetrate the market, and like not easy to have a competitors. That's it for this slide. And we are having our vision, which is in 5 years, we are aiming to save more than 50 million meals. And if someone is familiar with like Middle East and North Africa and having an impact business, it's so hard. If we are talking about mindset, it's so hard for people to understand it, because there's the first thing they are saying when you say your vision of saving meals, more than saying your vision is about money, they think already are charity organization. Even though when you are social enterprise, yeah, doing well for the society, going hand in hand on making revenue. So our vision, we correlate our vision to saving the environment and saving more meals. So that's in a nutshell my baby, Kea, our baby.
Thank you, Mana. I find this fascinating. The topic of food waste is something that is very often overlooked. It's something that even in our small community in Germany, we have a nonprofit organization that collects the food and also distributes it around to different centers and charities. It's something that is highly inefficient in terms of the logistics that goes into it. So the app that you've introduced it really is revolutionary in terms of breaking down these barriers to connect the distribution and to the people who need it most. I would be really curious to understand. I mean, we all know about this challenge, but at what moment did you decide that it was your and your husband's mission to solve this problem? What was the aha moment for you and your husband?
So to be honest, I started to draw the idea of the application, but I never thought I will it will really happen. You have a dream, you draw it, you finish the vision and everything. And then at the moment I started to talk with my husband about it. He was my fiancé at the moment. And he said, yeah. And he said, no, why you don't do it? Yeah, just go do it, start it. And we took our time to learn more about entrepreneurship, startup ecosystem, all of these things. It took some time, around 1 year, watching videos, reading, drawing the features, talking with the developer. But what I can say, if I give advice to anyone, I give advice to do not only do your research about how to build a startup, but also about the market. Because you cannot, you shouldn't be so early or so late in the market, and this balance is needed. So I think I was slightly more early than I should be. Once I finished the application, I wanted to be in the market and just to start. But I learned that I have to wait till the product is not perfect, but it's it's good, and I start with pilot first instead of trying to start everywhere. So. But I think it's the moment I became so passionate, crazy about it, thinking about solution, and then drawing everything, drawing the model, and then my husband my fiancé give me the push.
And I'm hearing kind of the factors that help with the scale up. So being able to be agile, finding these partners that are very key, who have a shared commitment to what you're doing, understanding the market and timing. So it seems like you did all of the homework, and also you found the partners that were going to help you be successful. Can I ask now, what were your biggest obstacles? What were the challenges you faced? You mentioned before that getting people to understand the mindset of being a social business, but being a for-profit business. But were there other obstacles where you almost turned back? Was there anything that gave you pause?
Yeah, so I was talking with Gabi previously that when we started, it was the start of Kovid. So after we signed contract with partners, a lot of partners, they suddenly closed. So we had no partners, and we didn't know how to start. Should we stop? Should we pause till Kovid? But it might take longer. And then we came with the idea, which is called a sprint, having sprints. What is a sprint is, what if we work without the commission and ask the provider to work for free and create from the materials they are having in their fridge that is going to expire because everything is closed, to start to prepare food and give it to charity. And everyone will work for free, but what we'll have is very good marketing materials. Not only that, we can test our application, we can test our team, we can test our model. So what we did is instead of getting any commission, we get zero commission for 3 months. and we were working with providers. We're getting an amazing video, and we consider our commission is a marketing, marketing expenses, because we had an amazing video. All the media was talking about. We could save 250 meals per day, per restaurant per day, you know, and giving it to people who got an impact from the corona. So it was very amazing initiative. I remember it was mentioned in more than 16 newspapers about what we did with photos and everything, and everyone was happy and the restaurant was happy. So we built a relationship with them, very good with high-end brands. So I think it's like being flexible. So we had this in our face. Almost of people stopped working, but we decided no, we will not stop, because we think it will take longer and we have to find another solution, which was perfect. Until now, we have this video is helping us now, and this relation and relation with the government, because what if did, and they give us like recognition. So all of this helps a lot. So I think as we always say, we don't stop. Even if we have issue, we continue working, we continue the wheel, but at the same time, you need to stop and think what you can change to make it better. Like if you think something is going wrong, don't continue doing it. You have always to stop, breathe, and reflect, and change and adapt. This is so important, and important to happen fast. Like if you find a lot of restaurants is not accepting your model, you need to think how to change it to be acceptable, to be accepted by them, and to increase their awareness. So this also startup is like an intense learning sessions every day, and you have to learn and implement. This is the most important thing, I believe.
And you mentioned before that you were doing lots of reading and research, and were there any particular people or organizations where you sought advice and mentorship while you were going through this startup phase? Was there any specific resources that you can recommend?
So my resources is people more. I watch YouTube, I check Facebook groups and everything, but people is so important. So try to surround yourself by people from the same environment, from the ecosystem, and people are willing to help. If you ask them, they will help you. So you ask everyone, you approach everyone, you try to get support. So now we are surrounded by investors, founders, co-founders. You know, it's create your own circle. It will help a lot. It will help a lot, really.
So creating your own ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly.
People who are committed to the same ideals, committed to the same mission. I think it's brilliant what you're doing. I really do, and I look forward to seeing more. I think this 50 million meals is an amazing target. In terms of, you know, how to get there, I think that ambition is amazing, and I imagine that's not just, you know, working within the Cairo area, but looking into expanding to other regions. Are there any kind of specific places that you're looking to move next in order to achieve these targets?
So very soon we will be in UAE and later on in Saudi. This is our next two countries.
And did you choose those particularly because of
the market size? Yeah, market size. There is a potential there. There is some relations, investor interested in our application. So multiple factor to that will made us to do this decision. Like we also in Japan, we are having some investors interested, but the language is a barrier. And the application need to be in their language, but the model actually is, because the restaurant is already doing this, putting a discount, like we sell with flat 50% discount. So the restaurant is already doing this, but there is no application collecting all like restaurants. So people need to go walk and find the restaurant and come back if they're having discounted meals or not. So I think the application will help them a lot. Definitely. So it's also in our mind, and we are doing the research now for Japan.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I can see this this model scaling to every market. I mean, the language barriers is something that surely can be worked through. Indeed.
Yeah.
Do you have any particular advice for other women entrepreneurs who are in this startup phase, or at least have their idea? Is there, from your own experience, what advice you can provide?
Yeah, I think team is the most important thing. Starting from the co-founder, if you will have a co-founder, so the rest of the team, if you hire people. So I have something. My motto is hire slow and fire fast, because if you have like a rotten apple in the team, they will ruin everything. Even they could work hard, but they are giving the wrong vibes, the wrong energy. So to be honest, this is a learning for me, and I'm doing it now. So it's something you feel like we have this, especially in MENA region, the feeling that okay, but I know him, I know her, they like me, they are nice, but this is something shouldn't be interfere, because the team is the most important and the most fundamental thing for the startup.
So don't let personal relationships mix with business. Let it be business driven, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I think that's brilliant advice. And I mean, I guess coming from my own, my own business, I actually, my husband and I own our own business as well. So I know how it is to sometimes to be a co-founder with your partner, and to have this kind of, at what point are we talking business, and where does the gray area meet? I wonder if you have any advice, because there's many these, partner-owned, I guess husband-wife businesses out there. How have you found kind of navigating this and finding the strengths for each of the founders?
Okay, I believe it. Like you have to be positive for each other, constructive. That's not say, but you have to be constructive in anything you're talking. Like really, always constructive. And if you cannot set your boundaries between the life and the business, so we have time. Me and my husband are suffering because we are working together. So we're working 24 hours. Living together and working together. So we cannot stop. Every time we meet each other, we talk about work. So it needs a conscious decision that no, now it's calming time, we just eat. Or if you have a conflict at work, it doesn't impact your life. It's really need to be conscious, and really need to be like agreement. Like first, there were a lot of, we didn't know what to do, but then we talked, we agreed, and then things is moving in the right way. And divide the responsibility. So I'm the execution, I'm the doer. Like, let's do it. My husband is the strategic. No, let's think more. Let's research more. So we found how to complete each other, and this is important. With any co-founder, even if you are not husband and wife, any co-founder, everyone need to find their strength and work on it, and don't expect the other co-founder to be like you. He should complete you, not be like you. He should do the thing that you cannot do. So this is so important as well.
Yeah, it's good to find that sparring partner and have it be, like you said, constructive, and balancing each other out. I would love to. It's also a pleasure speaking with you, Minna. I feel like we could talk for a very long time. I would like to open up if there are any additional questions from the audience specifically for you, to be able to allow them time to ask those now. Otherwise, maybe we would just have one additional question for you, but I do want to give them time. And I can see that there was a note here, but okay. Otherwise, I would love to understand more about your how Womenpreneur-Initiative has supported your development, or the development of either company, either She Travels or Tekea. It'd be interesting to hear.
Yeah, I think it's all about, for me, it's about the support. The support is about like being, I don't know, nice words, nice, like promoting what I'm doing exactly, explaining it to people, increase my circle, increase the number of people knowing about me. And what else I can say? It feels like a sisterhood in a way. Like like whenever we can do anything, if I need anything, I could talk to Sana, I believe, and they wanted to know a lot about my work. They wanted to know every single details, and they even like explain it in a way I might not be able to explain it. Like explain it in a different way. as I met you today, you know, and I met Gabi, so it's something. It's real support, and it's good to see other people from other country doing the same thing. So I believe this is amazing initiative, and I love it.
Mena, Charlene, we have one question coming from our wonderful friend Hanan Saab from Lebanon. Do you feel that you have covered the potential of Egypt? She's asking.
Not yet. We didn't cover the potential of Egypt. We are, as I said, we need to. We're doing our research now to see what we can cover more, and we also moving to Delta. And as an example, it's like around 3 million people. So this is after Cairo, we are moving to Delta. So there is a lot of potential in Egypt, and we can we can move as much as we can. But we are looking for, if we got investment, we will move faster. If we're not, we are not bad at bootstrapping. But I'm trying to say that our model, we try to create a model that's easy to scale. Like, you don't need a physical presence except of salespeople to go directly to the provider. You created a model that just the application can work in any country, and you need few employers, and then and you have the playbook, and you have the how it works, and you have the how to talk to the provider exactly. And this help, like, you don't need to finish the potential of Egypt to go to other market, because we need to be ready. Just ready, it means have flawless application, have flawless operation model, have flawless team. You know, they know what exactly they are doing, and then you can move. And most of my team is working online, so the operation and marketing will work from Egypt. Same team, we will increase the number and find like more great people to work with us. But still, and sales team we can hire in every country. So that's what we're trying to do, a very easily scalable model. And even the driver, when we delivery, the driver is always a third party that working in this company already. So it is our life. We don't need to hire our driver when we first start. We hire third party, and then we see if we need a driver or not. Depends on the area, how many orders we are having in this area, and so on and so forth. So I hope I answered your question.
I think so, Mena. And Charlene, we have another inquiry from Bahare, very precise one. Could you please, Mina, provide me the contact details of your friend who has a gluten-free bakery? So you see the network is working.
Yeah, okay, I can.
We'll connect you after the session.
Yeah, I can do this.
Brilliant. Mina, thank you so much. It was truly a pleasure. I know you're not able to stay with us the whole time, but I also hope that you're able to stay for a bit longer to also hear Nizreen's story. And so we will switch gears. And I would love, Nizreen, if you could introduce yourself and introduce also Iot Trees, how you came up with the idea. It would be an absolute pleasure. And I know that you also have a video that you want to share. So maybe first introduce yourself, and then we can show the video right after that.
Sure. So I'm Nisreen Turkey. First of all, thank you for this great opportunity. And I am so privileged and honored to share my experience with you, hoping to empower other women entrepreneurs. I'm a computer communication engineer, and I'm also a university professor and a serial tech entrepreneur. I have worked on several international projects, and lately perceiving the pain in the agricultural field, I wanted to take the agriculture into the next level and I decided to engineer a tech-oriented solution that will revive the agricultural sector and will create a social and environmental impact. So we created a new device. We called it Iot Internet of Trees, using the cutting-edge wireless hardware and novel high-end machine learning algorithm to predict the trend. And using our solutions, farmers were able to increase the production by 3%, improve the quality of the harvest, and of course, reduce the use of pesticides. Of course, I have a story behind launching Iot Tree. Would you like to share the video before, or I continue the story?
Yeah, I think it would be great.
Should I start the video now? Okay, I'm following your instructions. Here we go.
kid, ever since I was a little kid, I was so connected to nature. I spent my happiest moment at the farm watching my grandpa growing food. Day after day, and due to climate change and pest invasions, the production started to decrease. There are $1.4 trillion of financial losses yearly in the fruits and vegetable industry, with pests attacking more 1,000 species and destroying up to 100% of the yield. Desperate farmers are sporadically spraying pesticides to fight back, reducing the quality of the harvest. I, Nisreen, decided to create a device to give trees a voice. I founded Iot Internet of Trees, a solution that improved the quality of the harvest by 25%, increased the production by 30%, and preserved biodiversity. Iot is a solar-powered, smart, autonomous device. It has a camera and multiple sensors to detect multiple variables in the field. Data is sent to the cloud, and using our machine learning cloud-based algorithm, we detect insects and plant diseases. We inform the farmer via a mobile app about when and where to spray pesticides and which pesticides to spray. We won several awards and prizes. We built our prototype from scratch. So far, we installed Iot in more than 100 farms. We increased the farmers' income, and we created new jobs to attract young people to rural areas. Moreover, we helped the environment and nature by reducing the use of pesticides. Ever since I was a little kid,
Thank you, Nisreen. I think that I love the video. It actually reminds me of our orchard with, and to be honest, also sometimes all those apples on the ground right before harvest is the reality. And so the fact that you're addressing that is crucial for farms, I think, big and small. Yeah, and I would have to ask, so growing up, on the farm, on your grandmother's farm, and this idea of giving trees a voice, at what moment actually gave you this idea? When was the aha moment that you actually realized that you should solve this problem?
Yeah, so we can say that the aha moment was while I was on trip to the mountain. I met apple farmers trying desperately to sell a crate of apples for a very cheap price. So, and I have heard about the struggle that farmers are facing due to the destructive pest, which is Ceratis capitata. You should be familiar with Ceratis capitata. So I found that these insects can wipe out an entire year's worth of crops from laying their eggs in fruits and vegetable plants, and that farmers were spraying too much pesticides to fight back the infestation. And by spraying too much of chemicals, it will damage crops and kill also good insects like bees and natural pest enemies. So that's why I wanted badly to help and make a revolution in the agricultural sector. And I came out with the idea of creating a device and call it Iot Internet of Trees.
And so far, you have 100 farms using this, and can you give us a little bit of an idea about where those farms are, and in terms of are they across the country? Are you focused in one certain area? How have you set up the company, and where are you focusing initially?
Yeah, we installed Iot in mostly all Lebanon, from south to north. Targeting several crops, not only apple orchards. We are targeting many other crops. And we were about to install our devices in Paris, in France, basically, and in Poland. But due to COVID-19, we had to stop everything, and we were not able to close the deals. And we have also been testing Iot in Netherlands and installed 2 devices in Wageningen in Netherlands.
And the challenge, I mean, so I'm understanding that you started the company, things started to scale up, and then COVID hit. Is that kind of how the timeline happened? And I understand also that it's not just COVID that hit. I think there's other disasters that you're facing in Lebanon that are also impacting the business. Can you tell us a little bit more about these obstacles that you have been faced with over the last year, 18 months?
Yeah, for us, COVID was nothing, honestly. Seeing our funds going to dust after the lira rate are hyperinflated almost 20 times its original rate to the Lebanese economic crisis was a real catastrophe for us. So we also lost our office and equipments and Beirut Blast. That's why I'm saying that COVID-19 was nothing compared to what we are facing now in Lebanon. Honestly, it's a super hard time, but we are always trying to fight the bright sides. Like, for example, when it comes to COVID-19, COVID-19 showed farmers how it's important to remotely monitor their farms, especially with the absence of laborers during lockdown. And many farmers started to believe that integrated technology with agriculture should be a must. So that's what we are doing in order to survive and in order to overcome these challenges. We are introducing new services which are mostly software oriented rather than hardware oriented. And we are always looking for innovative ways to expedite the growth and the process.
And so you're actually helping the agricultural sector with their digital transformation, yes. If I can put it right, because I think the reality is that across all industries, we all felt this push to transform digitally, to leverage what solutions were out there, or to develop new solutions to kind of step up to the challenges that we were facing. And what is the response from the farmers that you're working with? And what are you learning from them? As we heard from Minna, there's also this learning process, and how are you rebuilding that into your own model?
Yeah, sure. So basically, you have two kinds of farmers. You have the farmers with a very old mindset. They don't want to include technology. They hate everything related to technology. So we didn't target this kind of farmers, because we have, on the other hand, another open-minded farmers with new mindset. So we were targeting at our first stage the new generation of farmers, and they were providing us with very constructive advices, and using their advices, it was like a win-win situation at first. So they are using our services, and we are gathering all the data and try to analyze the data with the farmers in order to improve our application and make it, you can say, farmly friendly for them, so they can easily use the application. We can say that using the farmers' feedback, mainly we improved the mobile application. And we, of course, have, by referring to some tech farmer, we found that it's nice to have another solution. It's like, it's not about by pivoting, but we included, for example, more sensors, and we were able to include more features and many other stuff.
And I'll ask a very similar question to the question that I asked Minna. Who do you go to for advice and mentorship as you're developing this? I'm sure you also have developed quite an ecosystem, and maybe you're also tapping your resources at the university with other colleagues. I'd be interested to hear, who's your mentor, or who are your peers that support you?
Yeah, basically we have been part of many accelerators, local and international, and we have a wide network of mentors, advisors, and even executive we met through our journey at Iot. So whenever we want a certain advice, we go back to our internal community at Iot and ask for mentorship or advice. And if we want, for example, more agricultural advices, law advices, you have also our experts, we can say. Moreover, we always attend workshops, seminars, webinars to try to be always up to date and connected with new people, with new mindset, with new network.
And maybe I'm waiting to see if we're going to have questions, and maybe Gabi let us know. But in terms of the ambitions for the company, where do you see the growth. You already mentioned there's a few different pilots in the Netherlands and maybe plans that will reappear in France. But also, what is success for you? Is there a certain number of farmers? Is there, I guess, how are you tracking your own success for Iot Trees?
For Iot Trees, success is not only about winning several awards, recognition, or making money, but it's about being able to have a significant environmental, social, and economic impact in the world. So we were measuring success by, for example, reducing crop damages, increasing the production, which is measured by increasing the farmers' revenue, by encouraging, for example, many farmers not to quit farming, because many of them wanted to quit farming because of what's happening around them. And by helping farmers continue farming, they are staying in their rural areas and not moving to the town, to Beirut. So we also have, we were able to secure jobs for youth, especially women in rural areas. Not to mention that we improved the quality of the harvest by reducing the use of pesticides and helping the nature. So we consider at Iot Tree all these matters as our KPI, our measure of success that we were able to achieve in the past 18 months.
Nisreen, Charlene, we do have a question coming from Ilham Zada, joining us from Lebanon. Amazing idea. And bravo, Nisreen. Where do you get your revenue from?
Basically, what we are doing right now is we have subscription fees. So farmers pay a subscription fees to subscribe to our services.
So it's a software as a service, plus you have the devices that you offer.
You are offering the device right now for free. We are installing the device for free, and he has to pay only a subscription fees.
Okay. And are you partnering? I mean, I'm not sure, Gabi, if there's any other questions. Maybe I have a follow-on question to that. If you're partnering with any organizations that may also have a network of, let's say, farmers that where you'd be able to benefit from their network.
Yeah, sure. We try to partner with an NGO. They have their own farmers. They are trying to help the farmers. What we are trying to do right now is that we are trying to build a deal. They will be helping farmers instead of giving them workshops or seminar, by giving them our machines. So they will be helping the farmers through us. That's what we are doing right now. Hope it works.
Yeah, I think it's definitely will give them a lot more insights in terms of how they're farming. I think there's different methods, I guess, to building capacities, and this is a different approach. That would be really interesting to see the outcome of that compared to maybe the historical support that they had been providing from the NGO.
Yes.
Maybe from a more entrepreneurial perspective, if we could ask one last question, is any advice that you might have for other women entrepreneurs, particularly maybe in the tech industry, since that's your background as well?
I would say that there will be many people who will make fun of our dreams, people that want to bring us down, and it's happening a lot. We need to surround ourselves with great people. And we need to keep in mind that sometimes we have to fall to reach the top. And when we get there, we discover that we can dream. My message to women is to find what you love, find your true passion, and you will never get tired. Or if you got tired, you are fueled by the energy of your work, and you know what you are supposed to do by how it feels. So, you know, it's right because you would do it for nothing, and find a way to be able just to do it. So basically, women should know their value and wear their crown and write their own stories.
I want to put that on one of those little quotes that appear on Instagram and Facebook. Women should know their value and write their own story. I mean, I think it's beautiful. Nisreen, thanks you so much for sharing your story. I very much appreciate it. I'm sure there's other questions and even potentially other partnerships that could come out of these sessions just like this. And thank you so much for taking the time. I'd love to switch to Sana now. I'm sure you just love hearing these stories, even though you've heard them time and time again, and many more stories like this. And Sana, thank you so much for introducing us to Nisreen and Mena, for inviting them here today to share their stories. We would love to hear more about your story. We had the video, which does give an introduction to the Womenpreneur-Initiative, but maybe if we could hear a little bit about kind of what sparked the idea. And then of course, as I said before, we have an exciting announcement. So I would love to give you the opportunity to share this as well.
Thank you so much, Charlene, for the amazing moderation. I would like to thank Gabi for the amazing work and for having Womenpreneur hosted in this amazing series of events that you're doing with Senate. Of course, we are very proud to work with Senate in amazing initiatives, as you can see in the video. And also we are proud because we get the chance to work with women like Nisreen and like Mena. And I think the story of Womenpreneur is the story of strong, amazing women. It's the story of hope, of resistance, the story of inspiration and innovation. I mean, when I founded Womenpreneur, I worked previously as consultant for international organizations. And I had always a focus on the MENA region because myself, I am Moroccan, I come from the region. And there is something very special about the region, I have to say. You have diversity, you have uniqueness, you have diverse realities, but you have the strength where sometimes I'm just surprised and amazed. Where do these women come with this strength? I mean, if you look at the story of Nisreen, it's just amazing how she thought about this idea of creating these machines and helping farmers. And also what's interesting about women in the region is that we are very driven by social mission, whether at home, whether at work, whether at society. And I think women are going to be the saviors of the MENA region. I seriously believe in it, not because I am a woman, but it's really, we women in the region have all the traits, all the characteristics that will shape the future. And we know that very much so because of COVID today. We know that it's super important to put the social mission in the heart of whatever we do. That's why Womenpreneur was created with the mission of supporting these women, making sure that their voices are heard, making sure that they are empowered, they are supported, that we create safe places for them, safe environments, and also to make sure that women are in the heart of the economy of the future. This is our mission. We focus on the future of economy. We make sure that women are trained, are equipped with the skills needed. And also we work on to make sure that we give them visibility. We push them out there. This is why we've done the Womenpreneur Tour with Senate, to make sure that these stories are being told, are being heard, are being seen by younger generation. And also we make sure to be that institution that is making sure that the gender policies are changed, are amended, are responding to the needs of women on the local ground. So that's why Womenpreneur was created. And since then, since 2016, we have so far empowered and supported 60,000 women. And I think if we have reached this number of women, it's because of different, and thanks to different partners we work with, including Senate. And I want to thank, to kind of give a special thanks to amazing team of Senate that I had the chance to work with since 2019. And that I would start with Maha Okail, who actually was the person who identified Womenpreneur. And I had the chance to work with Jessica Budman before she moved to another department. And since then I've been working with Elena Matiulus, who has been an amazing, great support system. Unfortunately, she doesn't work with Senate anymore now, but I have the chance now to work with Almudena and also work with you, Charlene, and work with Ole. So all these amazing people who believe in our mission, who believe in what we do, and who believe in women empowerment and economy. So this is basically what we do. I mean, we have a lot of projects, a lot of initiatives, a lot of exciting things, but there is one very exciting thing that we'll share today later. So I could speak hours and hours about our activities and programs. So there are a lot of things that we're doing. But one thing I would like to highlight is that we were supposed to be this year in Egypt first, and then go to Algeria and Lebanon for our tour. Unfortunately, with the COVID situation and complications now we're traveling, we're hoping that by next year, February, we'll start our tours to these amazing countries, and we will meet the amazing Nisreen and the amazing Mina, and among others.
I think the tours have been, I mean, when they could happen, the footage that came out of them, because that's of course what we see. I'm sure the experience that you have in going on this tour and meeting and speaking with all these women, I'm sure that's incredibly inspiring, and what's coming out of it in terms of the videos to be able to tell their stories, it's very powerful, and I do see that that to be able to continue this is quite key. And in the meantime, I think there is still a lot of work that's being done without the tours. And I really wanted to maybe ask a little bit more about maybe some of the initiatives in particular. So maybe if I could ask about the impact of forums like Womenquake in the markets that were supported by the Womenpreneur-Initiatives. If you can share a little bit more. I think the concept of Womenquake is just really, really clever, and I'd love to hear more.
Thank you so much, Charlene. Well, Womenquake comes from earthquake. It's basically the ideas we want to shake mindset and the ideas and perception people they have about gender and relation between men and women, and create new ones. So we are a little bit far from entrepreneurship empowerment, from capacity building. It's more about mindset, because I really think that change will not come only from empowering women to become financially independent. That's the tool that we provide. Economic empowerment should be aligned with social change in society. So we were like, okay, what can we do? And then I decided to start this movement. It's a project that we have implemented in different countries like Sudan, Lebanon, also here in Belgium where we are located, Azerbaijan and other countries. And basically what we do is we bring two people with opposed ideas and we put them in one room and say, okay, you have one challenge, is to talk about women from your perspective. And that within an intellectual, scientific kind of approach, and also within a respectful kind of manner. And that brings always interesting insights, interesting discussions, sometimes intense debates, but I mean, this is the objective, is to actually dare to discuss whatever society thinks or tell us that is a taboo. And at the end of the day, I can assure you that the speakers becomes very friendly with each other and see the perspective of one another. And I think that's a reflection of society. I mean, when we go, at the end of the day, we are a product of society, and we don't have the same ideas or the same perceptions because we see reality from our own lenses. And that's okay, as long as we are ready to explore, to examine, and to avoid thinking that whatever we think is the ultimate truth. And especially when it comes to relations and the place of women in society.
And I do think that both of our womenpreneurs actually touched on this mindset, on this being one of the obstacles, on this being one of the things that they're faced with is people doubting their ideas, people doubting their abilities. And by even though they're not necessarily connected in terms of the actual activity that the Womenpreneur-Initiative is supporting, at the end of the day, they have a huge impact on entrepreneurs and on women and their confidence in being able to actually take these challenge, take these risks, and believe in themselves. So I do find them to be incredibly connected in reality of the working environment.
Indeed, I mean, everything starts with an idea, and I think if only people realize that everything we see around us comes from a human idea, then that means that we can evolve, we can change it, we can modify it, we can better it for the sake of the future and our present as well.
And speaking of evolving, I would be curious also to understand how the initiative has evolved, over the years, with the community, with the feedback, with the ecosystems that you're working in. How has the Womenpreneur initiative evolved?
Wow, it evolved a lot. I'm actually working nonstop. I'm super tired. I want to go on a holidays.
You deserve one.
So I really deserve one. And I'm just waiting for December. We have some interesting, important initiative to launch, and then I'm just gonna close everything and try to travel and go somewhere. Womenpreneur has evolved in an amazing way, because our approach has always been, our focus would be to support those who are in need. Because even when it comes to women, supporting women, we're talking about different type of women as well. And there is an access of privilege for women as well in the region. I mean, if you come from, let's say, a kind of comfortable economically environment, your struggles will be very different than someone who doesn't have the same privilege. If you come from a certain tribe, from a certain family, from a certain class, from a certain neighborhood, it changed your life, it changed your destiny, it changed the way you see things. So our objective is to make sure that Womenpreneur is that space where women are accessing equal opportunities. So, and with that, what we do is we study the needs of the women. We don't implement projects to implement projects. I think this is super important. Every program, every initiative is built based on the needs of our target group. We'll make sure that we come up with initiatives that speak for these women, that respond to the needs of these women, and that actually our initiative is making a social and economic change in society. So that's why so far we have implemented 35 projects in 23 countries. During COVID, it has been a quite active period for us. We have developed a platform, actually with the support of Senate, called Womenpreneur Digital Hub. And I am very proud to say that within this online platform only, we have more than 6,000 women learning, exchanging, supporting each other. We are running programs every week. We actually, this week, we just finalized yesterday a program with Google that is happening within this initiative. And in that program, we had 1,500 participants for a program of 3 months. We have another program running at the moment, how to help women entrepreneurs to become leaders and to how to impose themselves when seeking finances and venture capital. And it's amazing that we have 200 women following this program. So it's an active community that is growing. And now with the team, we're saying, okay, how can we manage all of this? Because this is amazing, but it's a lot of needs, a lot of requests. So how can we make sure that these women are actually being supported in the right way? And also, I am very proud to share with you that we are going to also expand in terms of our geographical focus. Next week, we will be in Madrid to celebrate and to start a new network for women in technology through the Mediterranean. And this network will serve as a space for women in technology, women who are CEOs of big tech companies, but also women, young women who are interested to become female tech entrepreneurs or work in the tech field. And the objective is to create that space where there is the intergenerational kind of support. When women in high position, how can they help women who are young and who want to start and have a place in this very, very male-dominated space? So this is among other projects. One of our amazing programs that have received recently support is basically teaching women gaming and also teaching women how to repair phones. So this is among some of the initiatives that we are going to start the 2022 with.
Wow, it's going to be a very exciting year. My next question, of course, is going to be what's next. But thank you, Gabi, for sharing this. That's exactly what I was hoping for. What you didn't mention, Sana, was the other what's next. So I'd love to give the opportunity to share this exciting news.
I'm trying to keep the best for the end. I'm super, super excited and very proud to announce that basically we are launching or publishing or sharing with the world our Womenpreneur toolbook, Women Turning Crisis into Opportunities. This is an initiative that, again, we're doing with Sanad's Entrepreneurship Academy. The books have been sent to print. We will receive them in 4 days, and we're going to have an official launching on the 14th of December. Please mark your calendar because we are going to share other surprises that day, and there are some very amazing gifts that you would receive, all the audience. This book is basically a work of 1 year, I have to say, intensive work of 1 year with amazing experts, an amazing team of Sanad and also Womenpreneur. This book is highlighting the amazing, beautiful, inspiring, courageous stories of women in Algeria, Egypt, and Lebanon. Nisreen has her story, as you can see her amazing picture there, saying that she loves creating things that help people and solve problems. So basically stories of women like Nisreen are told here. We have highlighted 18 stories, so basically 6 stories per country, of women who are working in technology, innovation, but also in social enterprises. We are trying to showcase their stories of courage, resilience, and also their stories of invention and innovation during times of crisis. We are showing that women are not letting crisis pull them down. They are fighting, they are innovating, they are creating, and basically they are showing that it's possible and how we can actually turn a crisis into an opportunity. This is the message that the book is actually telling. And it's amazing because the stories are human and at the same time they are telling an amazing message of, you can do it, or resilience, while covering the success of the businesses and startups run by these women. The book is also highlighting the impact of COVID on women-led businesses in the 3 countries. It's a research that we have worked on for also a year. We have collected insights and data. And for those who work in the MENA region, how difficult it is to collect data in the region. So it was like a really, really intensive work, but always challenging, always amazing, fruitful. We collected data to really understand what is the impact of COVID on these women and what can we do? What are the solutions? Womenpreneur, we spend less time on studying the problem and more time on studying the solution. So this book is not only going to inspire you, drive your innovation, maybe it will even push you to become entrepreneur, but also is telling you how you, me, as all of us can do in order to support women in times of crisis.
Thank you, Sana. I'm very excited to read the book, but also I think we should all definitely be marking our calendars and looking forward to that event. I think maybe we can also share the information about the event, Gabi, after to all the participants here, so that they'll be able to also help in sharing and spreading the word. I'm looking at the time. I see we have some time still for questions, and I would love to open the floor. I'm not sure, Gabi, if you've already received some questions in the meantime, but I would encourage everyone, if you have any questions for Nisreen or for Sana, that we would welcome you to ask them now in the chat.
Well, we just have a thank you from Bahare. Thank you very much for all these stories, hearing from powerful women. And we had another question from Hanan that was for Nisreen. Is there a case study that you will be able to share with other farmers to encourage them to join?
Yeah, of course, we have a case study, and we also have a demo plot where the new farmers can come and visit and see how the machine is working.
And another one coming also from Bahare. Your solution is very useful for organic food, isn't it? Do you already have requirement from organic producers somewhere?
Yeah, exactly, because organic farming are more concerned regarding chemicals and everything. So we have many farmers growing organic vegetables who are on board already.
So that's it for the moment. With the questions.
Okay. I mean, I actually had more questions for you, Nazreen, that I didn't get a chance to ask because I wanted to make time for others. But I was also wondering, in terms of the tech innovations. I know that we talked about machine learning being part, there being a algorithm as part of the solution, but I would be interested to hear what actually the catalyst was in terms of, was there any technology that's actually helped advance the development of the solution? It's more of a technical question, I guess, but happy to nerd out on
Sure.
some of the details.
Yeah, you know, IoT is nowadays is like kind of booming. So the introduction of IoT lately helped us a lot to improve our hardware. So mainly we are using the latest trend in IoTs, whether we call it LoRa. We are even using satellite IoT. And in terms of machine learning, we are using many technologies like algorithm done by Google, and you are also using cloud computing as well.
Okay, and are you able to also benchmark other farmers against each other and actually share learnings across your farmer customers so that they are able to learn from each other? Is there a bit of a network that's being created within your customer community?
Yeah, so we were planning to do it last summer, but due to COVID-19, everything was postponed. So hopefully in the coming season, our farmer network will become larger, and we will build our own community, farmer community.
Very cool. I don't have necessarily any other questions. I would love to allow any last words, or I'm not sure, Sana, if you have any last any kind of questions or last anything else to share from Womenpreneur.
Yeah, I can see there is a question of someone who's trying to know how to join the Womenpreneur Digital Hub. I'm just going to share the link.
How could I participate in your technology platform? Comes from Bahari. Mm-hmm. So you put it in the chat, right?
Exactly, yes.
Excellent. And this goes out to all of you to connect with Womenpreneur.
Exactly, and you will be part of our very, very lovely family, let's say. You can keep, also if you will be receiving our newsletter, all our programs, our activities, you can join them. Everything that we do at Womenpreneur, we offer it for free because, as I mentioned, our objective is to make sure that women access knowledge, access resources and support. And also make sure to join us on the 14th of December. It will be a great opportunity for you to actually know more about the book, but probably also receive a copy of the book. We will see. I'm not going to say everything. Make sure that you join on the 14th of December. It will be a big surprise. And also you'll get the chance to meet all the amazing women in the book. Who knows, maybe you will meet one of them one day, maybe you will work with them. Who knows, life is very unpredictable sometimes.
Indeed, and I mean, Gabi, thank you for providing us with this venue to meet and to also introduce these women. I do find that the opportunity to have these discussions, to spread the word, to also tell the story, and then those stories are then untold, and the networks and ecosystems continue to grow and develop. I think it's absolutely key. I actually want to reach out to Nazreen personally and explore how we can work together with our own orchard. I do always find there's ways for us to work together to find how to support one another. And it's such a pleasure to moderate this session and to have the chance to meet and to help share your stories and learn more about you as individuals.
Wow. Anything coming from you, Ladies, if that's not the case, this was exactly I was hoping for. Building more bridges, creating more space to network and get together, not only when it comes to apple trees, but launching a fantastic book. And Sana, Nisreen, Charlene, we are so indebted for this fantastic and amazing session, full of sparkling, innovative ideas, brilliant initiatives. And yes, we can do a lot more, and let's do it, ladies, right? And I would like to not only thank you for this fantastic session, but to like to draw the attention of our next event, which will be on the 15th. So you have a full calendar. 14th will be the launch with Sana, and 15, hopefully, you will be joining us, because in our next session, we want to shed a light on what role do women play in STEM and innovation. So in a way, we just move the story forward. We just connect more on this issue, very important one. So we have Dr. Kate Morgan coming from Research Center Jülich. We have Dr. Carola Meyer. She is the spokeswoman of Women in Physics in Germany. We have Teresa Spano coming from Max Planck Institute. She is Gender Equality Officer. And the whole session will be around how can women be promoted in science and research? What opportunities arise at the interfaces of science and business? As we've seen today, Nisreen, science and business meet, right? And what role do networking and promotion of women-led startup in STEM play? So that's the scope for our session. Join us on 14th is Sana and 15th is our event. So for us, it will be same time, same place, and of course, same spirit, and registration will be open very soon. So a massive thank you to all of you, wonderful ladies. I am blessed to know you. I'm blessed to be able to connect with you. Charlene, thank you for an utmost inspiring moderation. You navigated us or guided us so aptly and so full with your heart and soul through this session. I couldn't think of a better moderator. Thank you so much. Nisreen, thank you so much for joining. Sana, thank you so much for joining. Stay well, stay safe and healthy, and hopefully meet very soon again. Thank you so much. And have a lovely day, have a lovely time, and a good launch. Fingers crossed.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Bye-bye, and thank you so much.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.